Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy. KitchenAid, Ventura TV appliance, and you, when only the best will do.
Hi, I'm John Mallos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Today we're talking about breast cancer and what you can do to help out here in the Central Valley. 436-ME-TV option 11. We've got 3 guests on today's program, actually 2 different topics, so you can call in plenty of time between now and 11 o'clock. Back in a moment. And welcome back to the program, my friends, here on Connect with Me on Me TV Fresno. As usual, you're watching us live on Comcast, channel 187, 43.6 and 13.1. That's live. Of course, Comcast is your cable company if you choose to watch us through the cable system. And then if you have over-the-air broadcast with an antenna, it's got to be digital, though. It's 43.6 and 13.1 live between 10 and 11 Monday through Friday. And then if you want to catch the replay, hey, that comes later in the day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 13.6 YouTube, 8 o'clock tonight on 4.6 Biz TV. If you want to fire off a Twitter, then you can at John Mallos Me TV, and you know, you have the email address. We'll put that up during the course of the program. If you have any compliments, any suggestions on maybe guests for the show, you can obviously email us at the following email address. It's on your screen right now. Hey, my friends, we also welcome complaints here. Sometimes we get a complaint or 2 about the programming here, or about your host, or about the content of the program. We get some of those. In fact, we played a couple of those on the air last week, one in particular from Sanger. A young lady was not too pleased with our content here on Connect with Me. But you know what? We welcome all and any comments coming from you, the viewers, part of the program. 436-ME-TV, option 11. You can call in anytime during the course of this show. Today we're talking about breast cancer, and some of the most famous people, as you know, across the country have come out recently and talked about their battle with breast cancer. Why? Because breast cancer kills, or is expected to kill, at least 40,000 women across this country this year in 2015. I want to put a picture up on the screen, my friends. Now, perhaps the most high-profile woman to make a stunning announcement is actress Angelina Jolie, who just a couple of months back told the world that she had both of her ovaries removed, a preventative measure designed to reduce the risk of ovarian cancer. But just 2 years prior, she had surgery to remove both her breasts, all because she had a mutation in a gene called BRCA1. In both cases, no cancer was found, but this touched off a national debate, a conversation about women and their risk of breast cancer. We'll talk about that today. One woman who recently told us she had breast cancer was Rita Wilson, actress and wife of Tom Hanks.
Rita Wilson reveals she was recently diagnosed with breast cancer and has already undergone a double mastectomy and reconstructive surgery. The 58-year-old says she had the procedure last week after being diagnosed with invasive lobular carcinoma. The actress tells people, quote, "I am recovering and most importantly expected to make a full recovery. Why? Because I caught this early, have excellent doctors, and because I got a second opinion." Rita wasn't diagnosed with breast cancer at first. However, she took the advice of a friend with breast cancer and got a second opinion. She said, "Early diagnosis is key. I hope this will encourage others to get a second opinion and to trust their instincts if something doesn't feel right." And husband Tom Hanks was by her side through it all, saying, quote, I feel blessed to have a loving, supportive husband, family, friends, and doctors, and that I am the beneficiary of advances in the field of breast cancer and reconstruction. Rita took a leave of absence from her play Fish in the Dark and will return on May 5th.
Live in our studio now is Sharon Johnson. She is the executive director of the Susan G. Komen Central Valley. The Race for the Cure, of course, is every October, now 17 years and running right here in the Central Valley. Sharon is here to talk about breast cancer, some of the events that are coming up as far as the Susan G. Komen Central Valley is concerned this coming year, and about the Race for the Cure, and also the 4 steps in trying to determine whether or not you are a candidate for breast cancer or not, and what the early detection signs are. 436-ME-TV, option 11. A great topic here today, mainly to be aware and to try to use that preventative measure early on and try to catch it early before it catches you. We're back with our program here in just a moment.
A top secret location. It's the spies who love me, bringing together MeTV's top super spies to fight evil at a memorable moment's notice. They're daring.
That's right.
Brave.
Now what are we gonna do?
The best we can.
Suave.
Does that apply to me, Oscar?
Possibly.
And smart.
The old finger in the gun trick.
Maxwell Smart.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program, a stunning figure, my friends, an absolutely stunning figure that 40,000 women this year will in fact die from breast cancer. And early detection is certainly a major factor in trying to prevent that from happening. I do have here a t-shirt from last year's Race for the Cure right here in the Central Valley last October. It's a size medium, and I also have a cup that goes along with it. So the first caller that calls in will get the t-shirt and the cup. It's the Race for the Cure. Sharon Johnson is here, I'm sorry. Sharon, good to see you again. And breast cancer, can you believe that figure? 40,000 per year.
Too many, isn't it?
But, well, one is too many.
Yes.
Forget about 40,000, but that's just, that's kind of mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yes. And actually in Fresno County, we're going to lose about 80 people to breast cancer.
Yeah. That's why early detection is so important. And you
Very
are
important.
A breast cancer survivor.
2 times, yes.
Twice. My goodness gracious sakes alive. All right, I want to talk first of all, Susan G. Komen, Central Valley. You've got some events coming up. Talk about those events that are coming up first. We know about the Race for the Cure. What else do you have?
Well, in August, we have August the 8th. We're partnering with the Fresno Grizzlies and Electronic Recyclers International for a recycling event. I believe it's going to be held from 7 to noon. We're finalizing that, and we'll be getting the word out on that. And then we have a great mission-related activity coming up September 26th at Gaston Middle School in the cafeteria. Okay. First of its kind, we're actually hosting a health fair, Women Empowering Women, the Circle of Promise Initiative, and we're going to have available clinical breast exams and mobile mammography.
On site?
On site.
That hasn't been done before, huh?
Not coinciding with either one, no. And it's women's issues that we're going to be featuring that day as well, other vendors.
It's like having a health fair on site with doctors and the right equipment to do these exams, right?
That's absolutely right.
Wow, is that kind of groundbreaking for you? Or?
It's groundbreaking for us, definitely. And I think for the city of Fresno, I'm not aware of an event where both of these were offered. We're also offering a medical home. We're also partnering with Clinica Sierra Vista. So should a woman need a mammogram, 40 and over, and she does not have a medical home, she can come there, they can establish her as a new patient, do a clinical breast exam, do the mammogram, and she'll have some place to return for the actual results.
Okay, so this health fair, I call it a health fair, is going to
Yes.
take place on September the 26th?
Yes.
At Gaston Middle School. Where was that located?
It's off of Elman Church.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and what time will that start? Is this like an all-day event?
It's 10 to 2.
10 to 2, so it's a
Yes.
short window. So people should know about that. And how can they contact your Susan G. Komen Central Valley organization to find out more information about it? What number?
229-4255 is our office number.
Okay. And also I want to talk to you about some other things going on. What type of programs do you encourage people to implement? Like you were talking to me last night about the 4 steps.
Yes.
What are the 4 steps to exam?
Okay.
In other words, the self-exam.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
the 4 steps actually include self-exam, but the first one is know your risk. You should know your family history. That's a very important part of early detection. Get screened. Know what screening studies are appropriate for you. The third one is know what's normal for you, which includes knowing what your breasts look and feel like. And the fourth one is making healthy lifestyle choices.
Yeah, and okay, knowing your risk. What if someone doesn't know their family history, and whether or not they have it in their family? I mean, maybe you would know if your mom had it or not, but what if you don't? What if you can't go back any further than that?
If you're following the other steps to breast self-awareness, you're doing the most you can do and empowering yourself with the knowledge of how to find a lump or see a lump.
All right, I want to expand on this just a little bit before I go to break. Getting screened, what does that mean? How do you get screened, and what kind of tests should you be doing?
Okay, starting at age 20, you can go to a doctor, a nurse practitioner, physician's assistant, and you can start the clinical breast exam process. 20-year-olds should have a clinical breast exam at least every 3 years until the age of 40.
Starting at 20?
Yes.
Wow.
And then at the age of 40, if you're of average risk, you're going to have a clinical breast exam once a year, and you're going to have a mammogram. We're still recommending once a year.
Wow. And so those are all the steps, and so you do that throughout your entire life?
That's correct.
The rest of your life after that last one?
Yes.
All right. And then knowing what's normal for you. What's normal for you may not be normal for someone else, because the size, and I have no other way other than to say this, the size of your breast is different than the size of, say, another woman's breast. Everybody is different in terms of size.
Right.
Right? So how does that determine how you should examine yourself and what's normal for you? How does that, the size of the breast, how does that determine those factors?
Well, if you're checking yourself once a month, you take that into consideration in how dense or sparse the tissue is in the actual breast.
Okay.
Size really does not matter. You can be a very small busted woman and have a lump but never feel it because it's close to the chest wall.
Okay.
And that was the case with me in 1999. Small breasted, never felt a lump, went for my mammogram and they found it.
Yeah. So size doesn't matter. It's what is it, the thickness? Or?
Well, if it's dense tissue within the breast, that can make it difficult to detect a lump.
Okay, so that self-exam, you do it in the shower, anywhere, anytime?
You can do it in the shower or in bed. The thing that we're trying to explain to people about that is you do not have to do the textbook self-exam in order to be effective in checking your breasts. What we have found is that many women don't do the breast self-exam because they don't feel they're doing it properly. So we want to throw that out the window. We want to say, yes, of course, feel your breasts. Feel under the armpit, feel up near the collarbone. But if you're not doing textbook, don't let it freak you out. Just continue to do it, but also know what your breasts look like. That's very important.
Hang on, caller. Where can you go to learn how to do that self-breast exam properly?
You know, we don't feature that on our website because we don't promote the tutorial for breast self-exam.
Okay, but you can still do it.
Yes.
You can still do it.
Those that are accustomed to doing it should continue to do it if they're comfortable.
All right. Caller, quickly, go ahead. You're on the air.
I have a kind of a statement. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Is that possible if I represent my wife in calling in for the T-shirt and the cup?
Oh, yeah. You want the cup and the T-shirt.
Is that okay, John?
Absolutely. What's your first name?
Yeah, that's what I like. And listen, and ask,
Ed.
I'm sorry, I don't know her first name. Again,
Sharon.
I was a little late coming in. But I'll say, Ms. Guest, do you have transportation for low-income area where they do X-rays, chest X-rays for the ladies, or breast X-rays?
Are you talking about mammography? Because breast cancer is detected with mammography, not chest X-rays.
Yes, thanks for the correction.
Well, now tell me where you're from, and I'll tell you if there's transportation possibilities.
But my wife does it regularly, but I'm just asking about low-income people that may not be able to get there or don't want to go there, and they see the truck there, and they say, I think I'll do it.
Okay.
We won't have transportation that day necessarily. We're hoping that they do empower themselves to get a ride somehow. Now, we have a grantee, Fresno Health Consumer Center, that may be able to help with a gas card, but we don't have any formal mode of transportation as of yet to assist women that day.
Yeah. Maybe it's sometime in the future. Sharon Johnson is here, the executive director of the Susan G. Komen Central Valley 436 MeTV Option 11. Hey, we've already given away this T-shirt. It's a medium size with the cup. Ed, come down to Ventura TV, 3619 East Ventura Avenue, and pick it up for your wife there. A beautiful gift, a great-looking coffee mug as well. All right, we're going to continue here with Sharon Johnson, 436 MeTV Option 11 in just a moment.
We need help to find this missing child. Delano Wilson was 1 month old when he went missing. He was last seen in Indianapolis, Indiana, August 27th of 2014. If you have any information, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678. Please help bring Delano Wilson home.
Frigidaire. It means the first refrigerator. It means a history of innovations that help make your home life better. And now we introduce the new Frigidaire French door refrigerator with over 100 ways to organize for maximum flexibility. Built with adjustable flip up and slide under shelving and stackable crisper drawers. It's the refrigerator that flexes to fit it all, no matter what your day will bring. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Back here on the program, 436 MeTV Option 11. Breast cancer is certain, a concern for many people who have that family history. Sharon Johnson is here from the Susan G. Komen Central Valley. And what other types of programs are you trying to implement over there?
We have several. Right now we have an initiative called the Susan G. Komen Circle of Promise Initiative. This is an initiative that's a focus on African American women. Segueing out of that is this health fair that we're hosting at Gaston Middle School.
Hang on, caller. Go ahead.
And what it does, because African American women have a 41% greater chance of dying from breast cancer than other women. So it's time to rewrite that story. It's time to reach many more African American women locally. This is a statewide Komen initiative, though, however.
All right. Is that caller there? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, call back. I noticed that we had a caller, 436 MeTV Option 11. Just be patient, call back. We'll get you on the air. I also want to talk about the Race for the Cure. It takes place on October the 24th this year?
Yes, it does.
It does. Okay, and talk just a little bit about what that entails.
Well, this race entails a 5K, U.S. Track and Field Certified 5K for men at 7:30, at 8 o'clock for women. One of the greatest features of our race, of course, is the survivor ceremony at 9:30, and then a co-ed walk at 10:30.
Woodward Park, is it?
No, it's actually at Fresno State.
Fresno State, okay.
And 75% of the funds stay right here locally to fund education, screening, and treatment programs, and 25% funds breast cancer research.
Okay, call in at 436 MeTV Option 11 if you have any questions. Sharon Johnson herself, twice a breast cancer survivor, so kills 40,000 women a year, or at least expected to this year in 2015. We talked about Angelina Jolie. She didn't have breast cancer, but still it's in the breast cancer realm of things,
right,
because she had the surgery and everything else. I want to put up some other famous people in order here. Robin Roberts, of course, of ABC Good Morning America. She came out. Her battle was really well known. How much did this touch you when you heard about this?
Anytime someone that is a public figure shares with the public, it touches me, and I have such a passion for these people. It's hard to share your story right after a diagnosis. It's very emotional. So for them to share their story with millions of people is really saying something about their passion.
Yeah. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Ann. Sharon, you are doing such an awesome job. I'm so excited. How can I become a volunteer to help with the race?
Well, thank you for asking. If you go to our website and you look at, it's at KomenCentralValley.org, and you look at the headers, there's one called Get Involved. All you have to do is click on that, It'll take you to volunteer, and then we have an online volunteer application process. Those are received immediately after you submit it.
Okay. You still there?
Cool. Thank you so much. I'll do it right now.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. That's a great call this morning. Okay. More famous people coming out and having the courage to come out and tell their story. That's what I call it. It takes a lot of courage to do that. Wanda Sykes, she is a comedian, very well known, very funny lady. I love listening to her. Another one, an actress, Cynthia Nixon, of course. We can go through these. Christina Applegate was really well publicized. Remember when this came out? Several years ago.
In fact, I was able to meet Cynthia Nixon.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
You met her?
Yes.
And?
She, was an ambassador for Komen, and she still is very much an ambassador for early detection.
All right. This is Christina Applegate right here, of course. And Sheryl Crow, the singer, came out. Pam Grier, another actress. Very lovely people here. Sandra Day O'Connor. She is, of course, on the Supreme Court and one of the justices, and kind of shocking when she came out, I thought. I don't know what you thought about this.
I just appreciate any time they're able to talk about it in the public.
Yeah, and then one of my favorite actresses, of course, Kathy Bates. And then Betsy Johnson, she is a fashion designer. She came out and announced that she had some breast cancer problems. Another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning. This is Lori Cardoza. I'm just calling to say thank you to Sharon for all that she does for Komen.
Thank you.
It is very much appreciated.
Any questions regarding breast cancer?
No, she's been very helpful in everything that she's doing to educate me and my kids.
I appreciate that.
Right. And do you have...
we really appreciate what you're doing for the Central Valley.
Do you have any history of breast cancer in your family, caller?
No, knock on wood, I do not.
That's
as far
good.
as I know, no.
How old are your daughters?
Have 15-year-old and 22.
Because that's another thing we're developing, John, is Komen Goes to School, a program for high school age students to start the education process. The youngest breast cancer survivor in Fresno County is only 14 years old.
That's awful. My goodness, I hate to hear that. Anyway, caller, are you still there?
Yes.
Yeah, just encourage your daughters to get checked and do the proper things and go through those 4 steps.
Yes, and that's what I do every year.
All right.
Thanks to Sharon. Actually, I wouldn't have done it if she hadn't guided me to do it. So,
yeah.
Thank you very much for all you do, Sharon.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What a great call. Time to take a break here on Connect with Me. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Sharon Johnson is here. Susan G. Komen, the Central Valley. And we're going to be back in just a moment.
Take a look at this. Let's play.
This is too hip for you. I'll slow down.
Let's play.
Watch all your favorite classic game shows on Buzzer TV, KBBC Digital Channel 13.7.
Continuing here on the program, 436-ME-TV, option 11. Yes, we do have an open phone line, so call in. I'll put you on the air. Sorry, but the T-shirt and the mug, they're gone. They're spoken for. Ed's going to come down and get them for his wife, and Sharon Johnson is here. I want to put the Komen sisters up on the screen. Explain who they are. Go ahead, Sharon.
Certainly. On the left is Susan Komen, and on the right is Nancy Brinker. When Susan was diagnosed in her 30s, it was in the 1970s. She was diagnosed, I believe, at a stage 4, had chemotherapy, radiation, and 9 surgeries. But before she passed away at the age of 36, Nancy Brinker promised her she would do everything in her power to put an end to breast cancer. So in 1982, Susan G. Komen Foundation was organized.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, you know, it's still killing many women across the country each year. Haven't really put a stop to it yet, but certainly have made some inroads since the 70s, obviously.
Right. We've made
great inroads.
Great strides in increasing early detection.
Awareness.
And awareness and mammography. You know, the relative 5-year survival rate when caught at a stage 1, is about 99% now.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm still alive today.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I am too.
Glad you're here. All right, let's put up the full screens in order here. We're just going to start with breast cancer and go down the list, and we can talk about these. I may have to put my glasses on to read this, but you can read that, right, Sharon? Breast cancer begins in the breast tissue that is made up of glands for milk production called I can't read that.
Lobules.
Lobules. And the ducts, I don't know, I can't, I can barely read that.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
And the ducts that connect the lobules to the nipple.
Okay.
The remainder of the breast is made up of fatty, connective, and lymphatic tissues.
All right. We'll leave that up there just for a moment. Do you want to comment on this?
It's a great way to educate people on exactly what's going on. Next time I'm on, we'll give you a couple of graphics to put up as well.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. That kind of pretty much is self-explanatory, that graphic right there. I need to get to Dr. Thomas Casagrande to check my eyes because that print is very tiny for me and a little blurry to say the least. How about detection? That's the next one. Breast cancer detection, you can kind of read that for yourself at home, especially if you have one of those big flat screens like we have here at Ventura TV. Breast cancer typically detected either during a screening process before symptoms have developed or after symptoms have developed, hopefully before, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of self-explanatory. And obviously, if you feel a lump, you better go in. Are most of these lumps benign?
Most are. However, if a woman goes to a doctor and he says he wants to wait and check it later, do not do that. Empower yourself to get a second opinion. If your doctor sees that you do have a lump and says, well, let's wait and see, let's give it 6 to 8 weeks or a couple of months, take it into your own hands to get a second opinion. A friend of mine in the 1990s, her doctor told her she was too young for breast cancer. She was only 33 years old. She had a lump. He said, let's wait. By the time she had developed more lumps and lumps in the other breast, it had metastasized, spread to her throughout her whole body. It was only a year until we lost her after I met her. So I promised her this is what I would do, is advocate for other women.
Yeah, the first thing that goes through my mind is, why would any doctor tell you that? Why?
I don't understand that logic. There's no point in waiting. Even if they think it's a cyst, you cannot tell. You don't have a crystal ball, nor do you have x-ray vision. So you have to empower yourself to make that decision to get a second opinion.
All right, microscopic analysis. We'll put that up on the screen as well. That's one of our graphics that you can read at home. You can kind of read this one if you want, Sharon, too, or for yourself. I help put these together, so I kind of know what it says.
Right.
Talking about a biopsy there. And this is good advice, and this is good information here.
It definitely is, and just so your viewers understand, you cannot diagnose breast cancer without pathology, without a biopsy, without putting it under that microscope.
The biopsy is key.
Yes.
Okay, you can't, because you can't do it otherwise.
No.
Yeah, okay.
You can look at tissue and say whether or not you feel it looks cancerous, but you have to have a microscopic analysis of that tissue in order to give you a diagnosis.
How about the signs and the symptoms? Put that up there. They are right there. You can talk about some of the signs and symptoms, if you would.
Okay. Other than lumps in the breast, there could be a pulling in of the nipple. There could be an reddish, looks like an orange peel configuration on the breast. Mm-hmm. There could be nipple discharge. There could be puckering of the breast. There could be one breast that's a lot larger than the other in a sudden, happenstance, where it just grows larger. Redness.
And that's a sign, right?
It could be.
If one is larger than the other?
Well, most women do have one breast that's larger than the other, but what I'm saying is if you notice suddenly an increase in the size of your breast, it normally is accompanied by some pain.
All right. Got a phone call here before we go to break. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air with Sharon Johnson.
Yes, I'm not speaking to the breast cancer, but I am speaking to women's health. My wife and I have been married for 47 years, and they turn right around and women get the worst health care there is because they feel that and all these doctors from different countries feel that they are not a person, they are just commodities. And then you have so it really is very essential. Like she said, take control of your own health if you're a woman. I had my problems with my wife and doctors, and like she ended up with streptococcus and pneumonia, sinus infection, ear infection that went into meningitis because the doctor thought he was from the Union of Soviet Socialist States, Georgia, and that they turned right around and took no tests, no nothing, just gave her a prescription for antibiotics and sent her home. And the next day, 2 days later, I had her in the emergency room and the emergency room doctor said, doctor for a contagious disease said that if it hadn't been I made sure that she got into the hospital, she would have been dead in 24 hours. So yes, women must exert themselves and say, this is my body, and I know what's right.
Thank you.
That's a fantastic call. I do have to go to break, but can you answer this in 20 seconds? Are some women intimidated and afraid to stand up to their doctors?
Yes, they are.
Well,
they're
we
made to
stop
feel that way.
How can we stop that?
We need to get more education out there, powerful speakers that say it's okay to take charge of your health.
Yeah. All right. Sharon Johnson, the Executive Director of the Susan G. Komen Central Valley, is here. 436-ME-TV, option 11. For you women out there, it's time to take charge of your own health care. We're back in just a moment.
Euronews, most watched news channel in Europe.
Back here with Sharon Johnson, Susan G. Komen, Central Valley, and let's go through some of these stats. Let's go stat 1 here, full screen, and Sharon, you can comment on these as we look at them on the screen. This I can read.
About 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in her lifetime. Sometimes it doesn't really hit home with women until I find if I'm doing a presentation and there's 8 women sitting around a table and I ask one of those 8 to stand up. When all those women stand up in a room and they see, my gosh, this could be my friend.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 12%. All right, next one, stat 2. All right. New invasive cases, man, look at the staggering figure there. 231,840 expected across the country.
And that's invasive breast cancer. A lot of times what we don't include, though, is this over 60,000 that are diagnosed with a non-invasive type of breast cancer called breast cancer in situ.
Right. Next few minutes here, we're going to bombard you with some stats. About 40,000 women a year are expected to die this year, 2015, by the way. All right, that we talked about that before. Staggering figure. Is just kind of unbelievable, actually. Sharon?
And, you know, we're not talking about men with breast cancer either.
No, this is just for women.
Yes.
Yeah, 40,000 plus women.
Yes, about 400 men die every year from breast cancer as well.
Across the country?
Yes.
Okay, stat number 4. For women in the U.S., breast cancer deaths are higher than those for any other cancer besides lung cancer. Another staggering figure.
That is correct.
Yeah, so stat number 5 is what? White women are slightly more likely to develop breast cancer than African American women. However, in women under 45, breast cancer is more common in African American women. Do we know why?
We don't know why, except maybe a cultural disparity. Maybe there's lack of education.
Okay, but that fact remains.
And it may be a genetic factor as well.
It could be. In 2015, there are more than 2.8 million women with a history of breast cancer in the U.S. And then the next one is about 85% of breast cancers occur in women who have no family history at all. So that is common. You can have no family history and boom, there you go, you're diagnosed.
Right. I did not have any family history of breast cancer.
Wow. Well, Sharon, we're out of time for this segment, but I'm glad you're here. You're going to come back in about a month or so.
Yes, thank
Talk
you.
about your other event, because that's a very important health fair that's coming up on the 26th.
Very
We'll talk
important,
about
yes.
that. Sharon, good luck. I'm
Thank
glad
you
you're
very
here,
much, John,
alive
for
and
having
well.
me. Thank you.
In the flesh. Okay. Sharon Johnson, the Executive Director of the Susan G. Komen Central Valley, back with our next guest in just a moment.
It's almost time.
Now we'll find out once and for all about Clark Kent and Superman.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a TV show.
Yes, but who is he? What's his name?
He's Superman.
Golly, Clark, won't that be wonderful seeing Superman?
Fighting a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and television the Me TV way.
No one can do the things that Superman does.
The adventures of Superman.
Now on Me TV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
We need help to find this missing child. Erica Parsons was 13 when she disappeared. She was last seen in Salisbury, North Carolina in November of 2011. This is what we believe she looks like today at age 16. If you have any information, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678.
Frigidaire. It means the first electric refrigerator. The first compact electric range. Now, there's the Frigidaire Gallery Range with Symmetry double ovens. It's designed to cook multiple dishes at multiple temperatures, so you can prepare the entire meal at the same time. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Back here on the program, continuing our conversation about breast cancer and how relevant it is here in the Central Valley. And so many people across the country will die this year, women, of breast cancer. Our next guest is Lance Cardoza, no stranger to this program, wearing his pink tie. And what's that on your lapel there?
That is the race. That's the race logo for Susan G. Komen. That's
Okay.
the running ribbon.
All right, and you have an organization and even a Facebook page called the Pink Tie Guys. And explain what that is as we put up all those photos there.
We're excited about the Pink Tie Guys. This is the first time here in Central Valley that Susan G. Komen Central Valley is having the Pink Tie Guys go out and just raise awareness and also funds to help support the programs that Susan G. Komen Central Valley supports right here in our very backyard.
Yeah, look at some of these photos here as we change. There's obviously the one of the logos, and there's some of the...
Yeah, these three guys, they were interns for the marketing program at Fresno State. They came to Sharon. They had no idea what was going on. Fresno Suit Outlet, our good friend Tony Kalangian, donated those three ties.
Yeah.
They went out to Fresno State and raised awareness with college women there at Fresno State, also men. There's Sharon and her staff there with one of the guys. They were excited. They went out to Vintage Days and they promoted the hashtag Pink Tie Guys Fresno. There's some of the students. They had a lot of fun. And the big key to all this, and like Sharon was there, is create awareness and support. There's guys that have lost their wives, their girlfriends, mothers, daughters. 400 people died, men, last year in our country. And those are the statistics we know. So it's great for young people to get that word out, and it's okay to talk about it. A lot of times, like we're talking about the gentleman that called in about his wife, you got to speak up. It's okay to talk about it. And there's some cultures it's very tough for them to talk about, but this is your loved ones.
Yeah, especially for some women, it's hard for them to speak up, especially if their doctor says, oh, you have a lump. I don't think it's anything. Let's wait. And sometimes, you get in that situation, some women do, and maybe they're afraid to speak up. Maybe they're intimidated. It all has to do with the doctor's demeanor, his attitude. That can have a lot to do with it as well, right, Lance?
Absolutely. There was a young lady who came to me. Her name was Jamie, and she was pregnant when she was diagnosed. And she didn't have a really good chance if she didn't catch it early enough while being pregnant. And I don't know her full detailed story, but through that, she introduced me to Sharon and said, you need to be working with Sharon. Sharon helped me so much with Susan G. Komen Central Valley. And Jamie, at a young age, being pregnant, she asked for a second opinion. She went out and she researched it, and you have to take control of your health. A doctor sees many people in a day. They can't pretend to know everything about your health and everybody's health at all times. You have to ask questions, and you have to look for those second opinions when you feel you might not be getting the right answer.
Yeah, and not only that, when you go to the doctor, you're only getting about 10 or 15 minutes max with your doctor at that time. And like Sharon said here just a few minutes ago, the only accurate way to determine whether or not you have breast cancer is to do a biopsy. And so the pink tie guy is not only making people aware, but making people aware that you have to take control of your own health situation.
Absolutely. And the Pink Tie organization, like I said, started with the students, but what we want to do is find business leaders and people throughout our valley, people that have been touched by it or haven't, that can be educated as well, to be able to raise funds, have fun as some guys. You don't have to have a pink tie, John, so you can show up with your gold tie and be a part of our organization. And we'll have some events coming up in September, October during Breast Cancer Awareness Month that the pink tie guys will be getting together for the very first time, having some fun events, raising awareness, collecting funds to help Susan G. Komen Central Valley award those grants to our community.
So is the Pink Tie Guys, is that a nonprofit organization?
It's in its infancy. So we're right now, it's under Susan G. Komen. We're a separate committee, a group that's got together as a group
part
of
of
guys.
Susan G. Komen.
Absolutely.
Okay, but it's not really a separate entity all in its own yet.
No, not at this point. But a lot of larger communities across the United States already have started Pink Tie Guys. It's usually started from maybe a gentleman that has lost his wife or found out that he can educate others and is out there to make awareness a priority.
And I can think of one person who is a very good friend of this program.
Oh, sorry about that.
Off? No problem. No problem. That's is that your agent calling?
Yeah, that's my agent calling. You got to call that number on the screen, not my cell phone. That's how we talk.
That's right. 436-ME-TV option 11. I was going to say a good friend of this program's Chuck McGill. He lost his wife, of course, a couple of years back. Yeah.
An attorney in town, right?
That's right. Chuck McGill is a good friend of this program's. He's an attorney, and he lost his wife to breast cancer, and it was a heartbreaking thing. And Chuck is obviously a member of this program, and he comes on a regular basis to give his various opinions about certain topics. And tough situation. And he's a good man. So we need to make people aware of breast cancer. Now the race for the cure is October the 24th here at Fresno State, and this will be the 18th version. 18 years in running.
Absolutely, and that's how people can support this organization, Susan G. Komen Central Valley. There's the Power of 10 challenge. Find 10 of your friends to donate $10. Register for the race for $35. You don't have to run in the race, but come out and just be part of the rose ceremony for the survivors. Be a part of raising funds to help people with this issue here locally.
Yeah, and so it costs $35 for registration for the race?
Yeah, and you get a beautiful T-shirt, a beautiful morning with some great people out at Fresno State. It's a lot of fun. I've been involved with it now 2, maybe 3 years now.
A coffee mug, too, to go along with it.
The coffee mugs are special. We only have that for the John Mellis Connect with Me show.
And Ed, our very good friend, our viewer here, is the one who got it because he called in first. And by the way, where is that mug and T-shirt? We got it? It's right there. Okay, all right. We'll make sure we got it.
You're making Ed nervous.
I know. No, we got it, Ed. Don't worry about it. Listen, Lance got to go, but the Pink Tie Guys, how do they get a hold of you?
Pink Tie Guys, go with social media. You can contact us right there online with the Facebook. If you don't have social media, contact Susan G. Komen Central Valley. You can find them online and call Sharon and call anybody there and be able to connect with us.
Yeah, and be a part of the group.
Absolutely. We're going to do some big stuff.
Lance, hey, You're a good friend of the show's.
Good deal.
I appreciate it very much. Good to see you.
Thank you.
I love that pink tie.
Thank you.
I got to get one.
Appreciate it.
Tony, you got that?
This is the Fresno Suit Outlet. There's a free plug. I better get lunch today, Tony.
Got it. I got to go get one. I got to go get one. Maybe I'll wear it during the month of October.
Join the pink tie guys.
That's
You'll have
right.
somewhere to wear it.
All right. Thank you very much, Lance
Thanks,
Cardoza.
John.
Time to change topics on Connect with Me when we come back. 436 MeTV option 11. We'll talk about Huntington Lake and the water levels and the activities going on there this summer. Back in just a moment.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want. Save now on Frigidaire's Advanced Affinity Laundry Pair. Let Frigidaire save you energy, water, and time. Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
You can find movies on over-the-air channel 13.3. Movies. Our name says it all.
We need help to find this missing child. Patrick Alford was 8 when he went missing. He was last seen in Brooklyn, New York in January of 2010. This is what we believe he looks like today at age 12. If you have any information, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678. Please help bring Patrick Alford home.
The Ballad of Andy and Barney. Andy and Barney were lawmen, bravest you ever did see. Warned every crook in the record book to stay out of Mayberry. They were the law.
Yes, they were the law, and they didn't know fear.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I guess to sum it up, you could say there's 3 reasons why there's so little crime in Mayberry. There's Andy, and there's me. And baby makes 3.
Now on MeTV Fresno.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Tune in to Heartland for the best in true country music. Relive vintage specials, one-of-a-kind concerts, and country music's earliest videos. Heartland is the heart of country. The only place where you can find country music, country stars, and country lifestyles 24/7. Heartland, the heart of country.
Now on channel 13.2.
Attention all units. We have reports of 2 motorcycle cops protecting California's highway.
That's for us, good buddy. The Men of Chips are on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Baker. I'm John Baker. It's Officer Baker.
He's the blonde one.
Hi there. Officer Poncherello, man. Frank Poncherello. Oh, I'm Frank Poncherello.
And he's the one who's Eric Estrada.
There's no way I wouldn't remember a name like that.
Catch the blonde one and the one who's Eric Estrada.
Now on MeTV Fresno. Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program, just a quick correction about the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, and that's coming up on October the 24th. I understand it's the 17th version coming up this year, so a slight correction, but still a long time in running that takes place out at Fresno State. Okay, time to talk about the drought. No secret here that we're short on water, and the reservoirs and the lakes around the Central Valley and all up and down California have been not dry as a bone, but the water lakes have been down. They're low. And I want to talk about Huntington Lake, and it keeps dropping and dropping, although it's up a little bit now. But Huntington is located about 70 miles northeast of Fresno, and right now the lake is about 70 75% of capacity, although not in that photo there. This place is usually bustling, a jam-packed frenzy with activity during the summer months, as you well know. People camping, they got the beach chairs all over the place, boating, people having fun in the water, including all the kids. Look at that sad scene right there. It's far quieter now, although it's going to start picking up from what I understand. The drought has taken its toll. Fun in the sun has turned into a nightmare for all lakes and reservoirs, mounds of dirt and trees where usually there is water. Remember, Huntington Lake is a premier sailing lake, whipping up whitecaps oftentimes. Huntington is actually part of the system of 3 lakes, 6 dams, and 43 miles of tunnels driven through granite. Now, all that water, it drops from the Sierra backcountry down 6,000 feet, where it provides and converts electricity for Southern California. This Lake Huntington was created back in 1912. Live in our studio right now is Maureen Barile. She is the secretary of Huntington Lake Association. She is here to talk about some of the upcoming activities. Maureen, I'm glad you're here once again on the program.
Thank you.
And so the lake right now, I just want to make sure, and we have some other videotape we can show during the course of the interview, you said is up to 75% capacity?
Approximately. Last night I checked with 2 of my sources, 2 of the business people at Huntington Lake who rely on the water. They have boat docks, they have marinas, and I was told that the lake level now is at approximately 75% capacity. And for people who know Huntington Lake, approximately at Lakeshore Resort at the east end of the lake, at the Lakeshore docks, the water is about 20 feet below the docks.
Oh, okay.
So that's a big improvement. Now, this isn't to say that it's going to stay like this all year. It could possibly drop again later in the season.
Yeah, the most recent figure that I saw in the Fresno Bee Sports section said that the lake was about 48% capacity. So that's incorrect right now, because
right.
it fluctuates all the time, right?
In the last week and a half, it has gone up tremendously. Now, one of the things that we're doing at Huntington Lake, the homeowners actually came up with about $5,000, a homeowners association, and in order to encourage people to come up and go boating, because we know people need to be on the lake, we actually have purchased a temporary boat ramp. And so we want people to be able to launch their boats and not get stuck in the mud.
All right, see that area there, right there? Is that full of water now?
It's up. That is way up.
Okay.
But those docks there, unfortunately, are not floating docks. Those are fixed docks, and so they're not floating. But some of the docks at Huntington have started floating now at the east end of the lake, not at the west end.
All right. So what other activities are going on this summer, since that water level is up a little bit?
Well, one of the things people would be very interested in is the fishing contest. It starts this Saturday, June 27th.
Right.
It runs through Labor Day. It runs from Thursdays through the following Friday. And people can come in. You pay $10. Children are $5. At the end of the week, they give a prize for the largest fish in various categories, and the prizes mainly are money, which they mail to you. You don't have to be there, and so that's one of the things that we're trying to do, is get people on the water. Okay, one of the things too that is very interesting is the Billy Creek Museum. We were closed last year due to the campground restoration of the Lower Billy.
Is it open now?
It is now open, and our museum will open on July 4th. And we have a wonderful display. We have Horn Photos has given us on loan a great display of old cameras and a lot of photography equipment. We have the Lord Martin, his collection of photography equipment. We have old boat motors that are on loan from Earl Roberts, his collection. And just a lot of, we're going to have a great reopening display this year, in addition to our B-24 bomber information and all the other things we normally have. One of the things I'd like to talk about, which is really big, and a lot of people don't know this is the 100th anniversary of the Term Permit Act. And why should people care about that?
What is that?
That's right, people don't know. The Term Permit Act was signed in April of 1915, and it is a law passed by Congress that on forest lands you can have resorts, you can have campgrounds, you can have cabins, you can have people recreating. So if you like to go into the mountains and you like to recreate, you can thank the congressman who signed that back in 1915, and we're having a big 100th anniversary. The entire region of the Forest Service, which is all of the Sierras, is having an anniversary, and it's going to be at our museum. The region's a celebration and acknowledgement of the Term Permit Act is going to be at the Billy Creek Museum on July 25th.
Why is the lake water up?
A lot of it has to do with the recent storms. Also, there's water that they've been holding back at Florence Lake. And Southern California Edison had been really working hard with us to release some waters. And I don't know, I'm only guessing that maybe they were allowed to release water. They have to follow the guidelines of the Fish and Wildlife Service and the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, and possibly they allowed them to release some water because Florence Lake is at a different category than Huntington Lake is, and I possibly am guessing that they were allowed to release that water for that reason.
Yeah, so it's part of, Huntington is part of a system that includes 3 lakes and 6 dams.
Right. Actually, there's really more than 3 lakes, but there's Huntington Lake, we call it the mothership. It's like, that is the first lake that was built. Then you got Florence, and you've got Edison, you've got Redinger, you got Shaver Lake.
Yeah, and how do those lakes fit into the Huntington picture?
Well, Huntington is kind of like, without Huntington, you have no means or no mechanism to get the water from the San Joaquin River downstream.
Right. Okay. All right. And so it's up because they've released some water.
They've released some water. I'm not really sure why, but I'm guessing why.
But I'm sorry.
But I'm really not sure why, but I think, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean the water's going to stay up at 75% the entire summer. What's your guess as to what it might be for the next 2 or 3 months?
We're hoping it's going to stay at 75%, but we're thinking that it might start dropping maybe sometime in August.
Okay.
But again, we don't really know.
Yeah, so between now and August, that's about another month or so, month and a half. So will it stay at this level?
We're hoping. We have no idea. I'm not even sure the utility company can answer that question, which is Southern California Edison, because they have to comply with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission and with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. So that's who's calling the shots right now.
So is that going to be more activity, more money for the business people up there if the water is up?
Yes, it will, because people come to Huntington Lake because it's hot in Fresno, it's hot in the valley. They want to go where it's cool. They want to do water activities. They don't want to have to walk long distances like last year and get your car stuck in the mud to get your kayak or your boat in the water. This year, the higher the water gets, the easier it is to get to that boating activity.
Yeah, but some of the water that we saw in that video, normally we do have a call. We do have time to take it just real quick.
Okay.
I think we got about 2 minutes left. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air with Maureen Barile. Go ahead, caller. Turn your TV set down. Yeah, turn your TV set down. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, just a minute here. Yeah, no, I was this gal on the TV right now is talking about not getting any water, and I'd like everybody to know that San Luis Canal, the San Luis Canal on the west side is running full of water, and it's a big canal, and it runs full day and night ever since it was finished, and the water all goes to LA, and right now all of the water is coming from north of Sacramento, and not a drop is getting let out for the farmers that were supposed to get water on the west side, and no water is going to the valley at all. It's all going to LA, to San Diego.
Okay, that's a good point. I do know that the water is being diverted to LA and San Diego.
Yeah, we watched the water issues really, really closely. Huntington Lake it was created as a means to create hydropower for Southern California.
Right.
And its water source is different than on the canal on the west side, because this comes out of the San Joaquin River.
Yeah. Got to go to break here. Actually, not a break. It's the end of the program.
Okay.
We're done with the hour already.
Come to Huntington Lake.
Come to Huntington Lake. Can they call you real quick? What's the number?
I'm going to give you, it's 347-0402. Best way to get me quickly is by my email, hlamo@aol.com.
Maureen, you're outstanding.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming
You're welcome.
All right, Maureen Barile, she is the Secretary, Huntington Lake Association. That's going to do it for us today on Connect with Me. Jackie Parks on the Police Association. That's the union. Will be here tomorrow to talk about crime, the budget, and what about the next contract for the police department here in Fresno. See you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Thank you.